Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me today for another cigar review. Today I'll be smoking the Plasencia Alma del Campo in the tribute size, which is basically their Robusto. It's a 5x52 Robusto. It's a Nicaraguan Puro, so the wrapper, binder, and filler are all Nicaraguan leaf. Aroma off the wrapper is very light, which is interesting. It's a relatively young cigar too, I think. To check my sheet, but I want to say it's about 6-7 months. It's been in my humidor. These generally sell pretty quickly, so I can't imagine they're sitting for a long time. Yeah, really not getting much off the wrapper there. That's interesting, but either way, I'll get this lit up and we'll see what we have. Right, that light up here. Lost a little bit of the wrapper in removing the footband. You can see that there was just a little too much glue, but it's pretty close and it's already starting to burn, so should burn right through it without causing any issues, hopefully. Even though there wasn't much aroma coming off the wrapper or even the foot, pre-light cold draw was nice. It was like a dry cocoa powder, a little bit of like white pepper spice on the cold draw. First few puffs here, that chocolatey kind of notice coming through, but in a kind of light, creamy, sweet milk chocolate. White pepper very apparent on the retrohale, but not too aggressive through the sinuses. There. Yeah, just lots of milk chocolate right now. Body's already building, so very much looking forward to seeing how that develops. I'm almost through the spot where I lost the wrapper, so that's good news, but off to a great start, I gotta say. I'm gonna enjoy this down to the end of the first third and I'll check back then. But at the end of the first third here, straight enough looking burn. It's a slightly under medium in strength, medium full in body, medium plus in flavor. Just thick, creamy, viscous smoke texture. Really enjoying that. Really just kind of coats the palate, sits there, nice long finish. On the palate, I'm getting creamy, sweet milk chocolate, nougat, a little bit of like a salty peanut. I think I basically just described the Snickers. But yeah, I mean, it's a great cigar so far, and a nice variety of baking spices that transitions a little bit with each puff. I think cinnamon is definitely the most prominent, but that kind of comes in and out with just a variety of different kind of hard to define specific notes, but just a variety of baking spices, pumpkin pie spice, that sort of thing. But the main tone is that milk chocolate and nougat. It's just sweet and creamy. On the finish, it's more of a dry cocoa, but still that chocolate being very much the theme there. So great first third, perfect kind of draw, nice volume of smoke. Just great cigar so far. But I'm gonna enjoy this down to the end of the middle third, and I'll check back then. Hopefully I don't lose any of the wrapper in removing this main band here. And then we have another band there. So hopefully that kind of glue on the wrapper was just on the footband, but we'll see. Check back in a little bit. End of the middle third here. Solid medium in strength now, still medium full in body, medium plus on flavor. Quite a lot of bit of transition into this middle third. Surprisingly, the chocolate, which was kind of the dominant note in the first third, is all but gone. So no more chocolate, still getting a lot of that sweet, creamy nougat. Still a nice thick palate coating smoke. The finish is a bit drier now though, almost kind of like when you have like raw pecans or raw walnuts, that sort of sensation on your tongue. And that salty peanut note is gone. Still getting a little bit of saltiness, but more might be from the mouthfeel, but it reminds me of raw pecans. So like salty raw pecans with the nougat, and still getting a big variety of baking spices. So interesting transition. Like mentioned, I'm surprised that the chocolate's gone because it was such a dominant note in the first third. But a little bit of black tea on the finish as well. Yeah, very interesting. I enjoyed both the first third and the middle third tremendously. Very different. Can't quite pick a favorite. They're both just wonderful thirds and lots of evolution. Baking spices, a little bit of white pepper on the retrohale. So great middle third, phenomenal cigar so far. Construction has been perfect. I'm going to enjoy this down to the end, and I'll check back then. About at the end here. Perfect construction all the way through. Still a solid medium, solid medium on strength, medium full on body, and medium plus on flavor still. Again, lots of evolution into this final third. That black tea note I was just getting a hint of towards the end of the middle third is now the prominent note. So it's a nice creamed black tea. Still has a little bit of sweetness, but that nougat flavor is gone. So it's like a creamy black tea, a little bit of sweetness, and that the baking spice profile is kind of tapered out to just like a nice light cinnamon note on the finish. Retrohale getting more of the cinnamon spice, some of the other baking spices are still there, and just a hint of black pepper on the retrohale. So lots of wonderful transitions between each third, almost defined clearly at each third is when you start seeing like that transformation. So lots of evolution, super complex, everything well balanced the whole way through. This was just a phenomenal cigar. I don't know that I could pinpoint a favorite third. Yeah, I mean, the whole cigar was just phenomenal. Again, I really like cigars like this where there's lots of transitions, keeps things really interesting. You don't get palate fatigue, and everything is just kind of very interesting. Yeah, just super complex. Really enjoyed this cigar, as I do most things from Plasencia. How would I rate this? Hands down, box-worthy cigar right here. And for the price, you're really getting a lot for your money with this cigar here. So, I'd love to hear in the comments below your thoughts if you've tried the Plasencia Alma del Campo, what your favorite Plasencias are. I'd say this is up there for me between the Alma Fuerte, Colorado, the Cosecha 149, 151 is great too. 146, all the Cosechas, and this one kind of really top of the game for me from Plasencia. So really enjoyed this. Thanks for watching and enjoy your smokes.